Today is the 8th session of our Shaada Lipi class, and today we will conclude all the consonants. So I will begin with what we learned yesterday, then we will take it further. And there were few things yesterday which were important, which I will little bit put more emphasis today, because when I saw the students' assignments, so I think we need to spend a little bit more time on, especially when we did Shishya Sarva. So, but first of all, we did the Pavarga. So we will do with the Pavarga first. So I will write the Devanagari. Please let me know if I'm audible, Nirupama ji.
Audible, sir. You are audible.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, Rakesh, you are audible.
But what you are writing is not sin, sir.
Oh, I'm not. It is. Is everybody seeing my screen or no?
Screen you have seen, but what you are writing now, dictating, it's not sin.
Rakesh ji, your writing screen is not visible.
Acha, okay. Let me do once again. Sorry. Okay. Now is it clear?
Yes,
sir.
Yes, we can see it
sir.
now.
Thank you, sir. Yes.
Got it. Okay. It was then ma. So we learned yesterday that this pavarga are nothing but the antakarnas, where the pa was man, right? So when we did pa with the Shaada Lipi, I told you it's a small curvature, a very slight curvature here, and then without Shirorekha. There is no Shirorekha for pa. So very important point here. This student should see this. This is a very small curve. Don't make it too elongate. Don't make it too bending like this. No, that is not correct. And also, even this curve is also slight. So this was per. So if I have to write it like this, I'll just do like this, and the small curve, indicative. It is, you don't need, it means with the pen, it will be very artistic way of doing it. So it's like this. So this is fine. So that is per. Then when we did fur was, there is a Shirorekha. Then on the left hand side, keeping a slight gap from this left side, and then you do a C type of curvature. Bring this C up in a curved fashion only, and then you make it, close it. You close it. So this is very important. So I will just explain it once again. So when I will do that, you see here, it's a Shirorekha first, then it's like a C, exactly like a curved C coming up, and then drawing it here. This is slightly upwards, very slight upwards. So this is fur. And burr was burr. This is the Shirorekha. Students have drawn this correct. I don't think there was any mistake. But only thing is that I told you, you have to make it a very big one. Otherwise, you will confuse it with R, as we will also draw that today also. So, and then again, I will try to draw that what I'm trying to say. And another thing, this is not a triangle in burr. It is a round type. Make it little, bring it little out, and then come back slightly above, below the, if this is a center line, or even this is the center line, slightly below that, but it has to be big. That is the way. Only one cautious here, don't make it very small. This is not burr. It will be confused as r when you write it with a normal pencil. So when you are writing B with a normal pencil, it should look something like this, and it should be very explicit, very explicit. This has to be a good one, but less than below the half. So that is important here. Then we were doing M, sorry, Bh. Bh was very important. I think only one point which you need to take care is when we do like this, many students have done like this. Try to avoid it. Why? What is the reason? Because I told you yesterday that this center line is there. Try to be exactly on the center. Don't try to cross that center line. When we do Bh, I will draw that once again. Here, in the center, you bring it, you make a curve, a round, very rounding thing. And when you bring this round back, bring it almost near center. You don't have to touch it. It should not, that's no need to touch. No, that is not correct. But almost near, but this line is alignment is important. You see, this is important. This is exactly on the center. Otherwise, if it is on the right, it can be confused with D, right? We know yesterday also. This was D. But when I do complete, then it becomes B. So that is why there is a very fine difference between B and D. So this students have to remember it. Then on M, very important point what I have told, this round, it's a round, not straight line, and this is also round. And then a line, vertical line, and slightly below. Slightly below. Below means what I mean to say, if this is a plane, this is another plane. So this is just slightly below this. And also, very important point, this is a round. It is not like this. It's not like this. Devanagari, we do that. But in Shaada, we try to make it round. Then this round. And then like this. This is M. So this was Pavarga. So Pavarga, what I told you yesterday, this was Man. Fa was the Ahamkar, individual ego, the Buddhi, the intellect. The Bha is nothing but the Prakriti, which is comprising of the three gunas, Satogun, Rajogun, and Tamogun. And the Ma is nothing but the Purusha. So this was the Pavarga. Now we will go to Yara Lava. And when we did yesterday Yara Lava, we told these are called also Antasthaha. So Y, R, L, V. There was a question that sometimes it is conical. That is right. Sometimes even we also do a round. That is also fine. And in Shaada Lipi also, both are acceptable. Only thing is that in here, sometimes in Devanagari, we do here this way also. That is correct. But when we do here in Shaada Lipi, it is the same here, but we don't do that slight curve because it can read like a per, but per does not have a Shirodeka. So we do here like this. So it's a straight line first, it's a almost 45 degree. Then you bring it a curve, and then this is here. So similar, very, very similar what we have done in Devanagari. R, when it was R, it's here, and then I told you not like B, but here what you do here, you make a triangle. And then there was a point whether it can be joined or it can, I also told you that there is there is no need to scribble the pen when you are doing it with a normal pen. If this, I have to write R, just a triangle. There's no need to fill this. That is completely not correct. I am just filling it here because the pen which I'm using, it is coming automatically. You don't need to do that. Only thing is what I told you, don't make it too big. That is very important. Very small, much lesser than, almost it should be like a 10th or 20th% of the line which is here. And then also what I told you, don't make it round also. This is not correct. It can be confused with B. So that is the difference. In R, we have a triangle here. So this is R. Then L was very clear. L is the same way what we have drawn. There is no difference in L in Devanagari and L in Shaada Lipi. Both are same. And then V also I told you, that is also same in Devanagari, same in Sharda. So this was very easy. So this is what we learned yesterday about this Antastaha.
So, can you again explain how ver is to be written? Because I'm not able to make it ver like in Sharda, because we have to make it little triangular ver.
Ver. No, no triangle, just a round type of thing, a slightly conical. This is how we do. It can be, as I told you, it can be even round also. It can be like this thing, but that is generally we don't make it like that. To make it more beautiful, it is slightly and not, it's like this. It's very simple, like what we do in Devanagari. There is no difference. So if I have to do that, even this, actually this is more appropriate if you see. This is verb, but there is no difference how we do it in Devanagari. We do the same in the Shaada Lipi also. And these are called Antastaha. And I also told you about these were nothing but the Shat Kanchukas, which is the 5 coverings, and the Maya, where Ver was Maya. And then Ya was Kal and Kala. Ra was Vidya, the limitation of Vidya. La was limitation of attachment and space, which is nothing but Raga and Niyati. Raga and Niyati. So these are, so Kal, Kala, Vidya, Rag, Niyati, and then Maya. This comprises of the Shat Kanchukas. This is called Shat Kanchukas in Kashmiri Shaivism. And they are also called Antastaha because these remain inside the individual being. That is point 1 as described in Panini. But also what we say in Kashmir Shaivism, that these are elements which give life to individual being. If you see, without these particular limitations, I'm not an individual being, then I am directly Lord Shiva. This is also a glory of Lord Shiva. See, in Kashmir Shaivism, only difference, how we differentiate Shaivism here is not a topic of discussion, but we say that you have the life, whatever I am there, this is also a glory of Lord Shiva. I am in this state as a Jiva, that is also Sautantra of Lord Shiva. That is why we do enjoy the life also. And that is why these 4 are also, these give life to individual beings. The glory in the limited space, right? So this is how it makes, these elements make me whatever Rakesh and from Lord Shiva, right? That is also glory. That is, it is not, there is nothing wrong. It is, if it is Lord Shiva's play, that is also positive. There is nothing to be basically feel bad about it. He's playing the game and he is enjoying everything of it. So then in the last, not the last, we learned Shesha. This is where I want to put more focus today, because yesterday we did it in just last 10 minutes. So sh, Sure. Here also, I think there was a point that we do this way. That is right. That is correct. In Devanagari, sir and her. Her. So how do we write in Shaada Lipi? These are not difficult, but these are the things which are to be remembered, and so that we don't do the mistakes. Ensure it has a complete Shirorekha. Then, as I told you, it is exactly like this, and this line is slightly below that. This line and these lines are slightly one below that. This is little bit below. And very important point, what I told you yesterday also, you have to remember, this corner is very important. If you don't make this sharp corner, we will give a correction in the assignments. That is why we want students to remember, when we do sure, you have to remember that it is a sharp corner. This is a very sharp corner. And then sure here, this was same. There is no difference here. I told you it's like the per what I draw, similar way. Then I dot the th also, right? But here I don't put a Shirorekha. I told you there are three things, right? One is per, then another is th, this is th, thermas, and then this sure. The only difference in these three is, you see, per does not have a Shirorekha, sure has only one line, and it's a straight line, not in Devanagari like we make it curve. And in th we put both this in inside line also, as well as the Shirorekha. So this is very important, which we should remember. And these, sometimes these curves are also important, which I have already explained in per. Then we will go to sir. Sir is very similar to this sure. Only difference is that it does not have a Shirorekha. Very small indicative Shirorekha, and that too, it is only to support some matras if they are there. Here, even if I don't put this thing, that is fine. So this is, and here also the important point to note, this corner is very important. So, and what we do also here, you can add a slight line here, because suppose if I have a A, I have a E, I have a E, that is why these two on the left and right side are there. Otherwise, it can be just like this. It is also correct. This is also correct. There is no problem. Only one point here, again, I am mentioning these three things you have to remember. I will draw these again. This is sure, sir, slide, and then mer. See, this is difference which students should remember, and this is when we read the manuscripts, we have to be very, very carefully look at this around, because sometimes in manuscript you will not be able to differentiate between mer and sir. Very, very small differences there. So this is what we have seen here, and now you see the important, interesting some facts I will tell you about these two alphabets. This mer, we already told, it is nothing but the individual being, right? The Purusha Tattva. And this sir, it is nothing but the Sadashiva Tattva. And Abhinav Gupta, in his text also, he has mentioned the difference. He has, in fact, it is said that, I do not remember that exact shloka, where Abhinav Gupta is basically paying respect to the teacher who showed him the difference between mer and sir. See, it is very subtle things to understand. That means he showed him the difference in between the Purusha, the individual being, and the universal being, which is the Sadashiva. It is Sadashiva. In fact, above that there is Shuddha Vidya and then Shakti and Shiva. But this is even Abhinav Gupta is also mentioning about this round and then the sharp curve. He is saying, I pay respect to my Guru, who taught me the difference. How do I read the Ma and how do I read Ma? The difference between Ma and Sa. See how beautiful that is. And we are just here trying to basically learn the alphabets here. So there is a that's why I said there are a lot of philosophical meaning for each and every words. I think that this is a topic of research in itself about all these alphabets, how they have been designed and how they are relevant, how they're relevant. Example, when we did her yesterday, there is also a shloka about her. Her is like a halant, which is like a plow of the farmer. And it is exactly, if you see this Sharda her, I told you, and this also very, we will explain, I'll explain you here again. There are some corrections. I also did some mistake yesterday. First, this is the line. Then you bring this line slightly lesser than this one, but it is also curved, not a straight, not, I mean, say not in this direction, not on the top direction. It is slightly below direction. And then what you do, slightly lesser than, sorry. Slightly lesser than here. And then what you do here, you bring something like this, curve upwards, and then you bring it down. This is her. So it is exactly like a hal, which is used by the farmer. So it is exact, and that is her. I told you right yesterday, right? It is nothing but the Shakti, right? So this is her. So I will draw that once again for students to just practice once again. So it is one line. Slightly I am doing it to left side because I want to keep that Shirorekha in control. That's why I start from here, slightly longer. Then you bring this line slightly here. Lesser, this length of this line is slightly less than here. Then what you do at this point, you make this curve and you bring this here. So this is her. So if I will have to talk about in tattvas from point of view, this is Shakti. This is called the Shuddha Vidya, because what is happening first is Shiva, which was then her, then Sa, her is the Shakti. The Sa is the Sadashiva, which is nothing also called the Amrit Bija. Basically, it is a state of Aham Idam. Aham Idam means at this state, Shiva is basically, he sees that I am the whole universe. And then there's an Ishwar, this is called Ishwar Tattva. And then there is the Saddha Shuddha Vidya Tattva. So at here it is called Idam Aham, that means this universe is mine. And here it is both are balanced, Idam Aham Aham. That is what we say about Shuddha Vidya. So I will not go to that, but I hope this Shishya Saha is clear now to students. We will take questions also, but I will come to the last three Kshatriya here on these are nothing, these are actually called Sanyukt Vyanjanas. Sanyukt because they are compound consonants. They're also called compound consonants because they're actually the mixture of two alphabets. If you see here, Ksha. I will draw here. Then Tra and Nya. Nya also, or it is called Gya also. So I think it is, we say gya, we have been, I think both, I think it is, that's the difference in how pronunciation in North India and South India, but these are the three alphabets. And how do we write it? Because we have not started learning the compound conjuncts in Shaada Lipi, but I will just give you a hint first. When we do ksha, it is actually, if I will have to tell you, it is, you have to understand, it is actually the plus sh. I'm talking Devanagari. That means sh. And tra, when I make tra, it is actually ta and ra. That is how we read it. And if we say nya, it is actually j plus na. This is how we read it. Gya, kya, tra, gya. Now, how this will be written in Shaada
Sir,
Lipi?
it's na or nya?
No,
Sir, excuse me.
yeah, actually right.
Nya.
Yes,
Sir, this-
actually it is right. But in Shaada Lipi, I think it is. I will show you how it is written. Then we'll understand. What you are saying is correct. It has to be like this. But the way it is written in Shaada Lipi, it is shown as like this. I will come to that. Let me just show you now. Then you will
sir, this
understand.
is, sir, this last one is for Gyana, no? Gyana.
Gyan. Yes, Gyani. Yes, yeah.
Thank you.
Jnani or Gyani or whatever. Yeah. So first we will do Gya. Sh. Sh. How do we do it in Shaada Lipi? You will have to just learn today how I am doing it. Then we will learn those rules, why it is written like this. That we will come in our next class, next week. But today you will have to just remember how I am doing it. So what we do here, you make a line from center. You bring this here and you bring like this, a curve. And here what you do, this is like a half curve. You should remember it is something like a half curve. And then what do you do? Below that, exactly this sure, how do we write in Shaada Lipi? You have to write exactly that. You remember that was not having a Shuru Rekha, right? So here also that will not be having a Shuru. So this is Shap. I will draw once again. Then I will tell you. It is like this. Then it is something like a half curve. Just remember only that today. Why it is half curve, that we will do it later. In Shaada Lipi, half curve, in Devanagari, half curve is written like this. But in Shaada Lipi, it is written like this. We will tell more about it in the next class. But you should only remember this today, only this much. And then below that, not towards the right side, towards the left side, make a sure, and this line you join exactly with the sure rekha and bring it down. And then you join this. This is sure. So if I have to do with the normal pen, here, this is straight line, this is slightly curved. And then here, and then join it. This is sure. And then tra, so we will do once again at the end. Then tra, so tra was like this. In Shaada Lipi, you have to write like this. Actually, it's not the prasra, it is tra. It is actually r is here. It is this. Sorry, I am mistaken. The here.
Abhijit, please move your screen up. We cannot see.
Oh, okay. So how do we write? How do we write tra in Shaada Lipi? Just remember today only this much. Then we will do that later. So it is, how do we do the? and then R here. Just remember only this much today. Why this arc is there? You remember, if suppose I have to write Kr in Devanagari, how do we do it? I put it like this, right? Or Kr, I put it like this, right? I put towards the left. Just remember today in Shaada Lipi that R is put on the right. Just remember only that today. Don't do too much. We will explain those things. But today we just learn how Tra is written. So it is exactly like the. You don't even put the Shirureka, that is fine. You don't even put the Shirureka, then like this. This is Tra. And then Shatra here is Jnani. Jnani, somebody, that's what I said, there is a difference in pronunciation. Here, how do we do it in Shaada Lipi? What I do here, I do the J first. I will show you like a J, but here what I do, I bring it here and I do like this. I will draw that once again. It is actually, that is what I said. It is actually, you remember this was J and this was no. So this is the combination of these two. So if I will have to draw that once again in a flow, it is like this. Very few important points which I will tell in this, which is a very common mistakes which students will do. This is how this is here. I will write it once again. Very common mistakes which students do here is when they do that, then they bring it like this. And it is wrong because I don't want you to make this line like this. It has to be almost like a straight line. This is also not correct. If I am correcting my this thing, it's not correct. So to do that, what you have to do is practice how it will come. Make this curve more bent so that you have that, then you do it. This is right. So at least this has to be almost, it is maybe slight bend is acceptable, but not so much. See, like this. Bend it. 1, 2. Then this is like what we have done. So this is, try to keep this as a straight line. Do not, this is a very tendency, normal tendency, even I do sometimes in a hurry, it comes like this. But this is not a good practice. Don't try to bend it like this. To avoid it, because you have to do near. So to avoid it, make the curve this bend, make this sharp bend, and after that you do, then it will come correct. I will draw that once again. Let me draw that once again. Let me draw all the 3 once again. So then it will be very clear, it will be revision also. Sure. Right. Here. So how do we do that? First, I told you here, make a straight line in center. This line, don't make it too much. No, that is not correct. Make it almost like in the same Shirureka type. Here you bend it slightly. Don't put it so low. Too much is not needed. Actually, it's good. Some artists even do that. But we try to avoid that. And here towards the left side, you draw shear on that. This is shear. And then I will draw once again. here, here. Sure. Tra is, I told you, the even if you don't put Shira Rekha, that is fine. And here you make this Ra. Tra. I will do once again. Tra. And then here of what I told you to do that is Shira Rekha. Then you do the Ja. Slightly differences here. You make it little bit more bend. 1, 2. This is exactly correct. This is perfect. So this is what we do. I will do that once again. Then we will take the questions. And you can ask today questions about any other alphabets, right from A or anything. So that any doubt is there, because now we are moving ahead. And for your information, the classes will be now very, very interesting. Do not miss even a single class. If you are not attending because of some reasons, please try to watch the videos compulsorily, because if you miss one class, the flow will not be there and you will miss some very important points which we discussed, because the class will be very, very, very interesting, sometimes slightly challenging, because you may have to remember those things, but we will provide you the notes. We'll provide you the notes as a reference to you. And I will also try to see if we can upload those references on our website, so that anytime you don't need to keep them on mobile, you can just go to website and have them. I think they are, but if it is not there, we will get them uploaded for you. If you don't know, our website is www.shaadalipi.com. I will get it added there. It's also, those rules are very important. From next class, everything will be like, you have to remember them, and they're very, very interesting points which we will learn. So I think today was 8th class. Maybe there are 8 more classes or 9 more classes, and you will be expert. So it is not difficult, but compulsorily paying attention in the class, especially from next session, is very, very important. I think we will take these questions, and then we will.
Sir, good morning. My question is with respect to Ksha. You are writing K first and writing Sh next.
Yes.
So when I tried, what is happening is that line will come, the Sh line will not come in the straight line. So is it okay if we write a long line first and then give the curve
No
of K
problem.
and Sh? Does
Yes.
it become wrong?
No, it does not. You are trying to say like this, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's perfectly fine.
Rakeshi, this is Sneha here. They're asking like, how do we write Nya? We don't have Nya, but I think that's we have covered almost all the.
No, near
consonants.
we had covered. Near was like this. Near
Yeah,
was,
that is Chavarga. Chavarga Kanya.
yes, we have done that. I think that is correct. What your question is asking, you can, as I told you, you can even, that is right. What you are saying, sometimes it can be, you can even put a long line first, then do this, and then do that. This is perfect. Because this is a single line. I have drawn it separately because I know it's a combination. I generally do that, but it is not necessary. You can even put that line first and then do this and then do that. That's perfectly all right.
Sir, one more question, which is actually not relevant here, but associated with Sharda only. In the first class, during the introduction, you said one of your old student is writing, trying to write Gita with the Shaada Lipi.
Yes.
So just wanted to know whether the ready-made script of Gita in Shaada Lipi is available.
Okay. So let me just show you today. I think I know, I don't want to basically, let me show you something today. if you just go to Google, but don't try to do today everything. Okay, I'm just giving you just that link where you can find it. Just type Satish Sir font. Okay.
Okay.
If you type Satish Sir font in Google,
Okay.
this is the application which will come up. It's a mobile app also. It's a mobile app also.
I have downloaded, sir.
Yeah, it is an app, and here you can type everything in Shaada Lipi. See, I'm typing with a normal English keyboard. See, see here. See here. You can do that. We have developed this last year, and it's a mobile app also. Right now, we do not know everything. That is why I do not tell students. But students, in fact, we are also from next month, we are also publishing our. Can you please somebody be mute? Sorry. Okay. So we are also trying to publish a newsletter, which will be starting from. It was earlier also we were doing it. From next month onward, we will be basically publishing the newsletter every month, and that is exclusive in Shaada Lipi. All the students who have been working with us, they do that, and they are in fact in this there is a lot of learning apps also. There are some basics, there are these things, so you can do all that. So we are doing that newsletter. It will be released, and we will connect with you, and those newsletter can be sent to everybody as PDF. It is free of cost. That is point one. Point two, which I want to also announce here, that on 3rd of February, just 1 minute. Yeah, it is 3rd of February, which is the Gauri Tritya day. So in Kashmir, we used to basically say it's a Gauratrai. Historically, that was the day when the convocation of the scholars used to take place in the Sharda University, which is nothing but the Sarvajna Peetha. So historically, that is the history where all the scholars used to get honored for their degrees on that day. So that is the Gauri Tritya day. And we are basically celebrating that as a Sharda Divas. Every year, we have been doing it from last 6 years. And this year also, because it's a working day, so there will be a program on online. Basically, it will be a Zoom or it will be a Facebook live sessions where we will invite some scholars, and we will also show you some students who are doing work on what they are doing on Shaada Lipi, and other very important announcement on that. But so that is the day there was also a painting competition, especially for the Shaada scholars students. Some students have done painting, somebody has done drawing, somebody has written poems. We will demonstrate those also. Some kids also will talk about that. So I request all of you, please try, if you can get time, join us live on Wednesday, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. 2 hours session, and it will be very interesting. And yes, we will be honored if everybody can join. So as I told you, this keyboard is already there and started. It was earlier, we never had the keyboard and we were all struggling because we were doing handwritten. We developed this keyboard, and we are also trying to see if we can get Microsoft or any other application also to recognize. Like example, today, if I go to any language in Microsoft, it does not give me a Sharda, right? I can write any other language script. So that is a journey. Slowly, I think that is why we are working with all of you, that somebody can take it things more further. They can do more things in technology wise or anything. Lot of things to be done. And yes, the program will be very interesting. You will also learn how students are doing. You will also learn how few people are very doing the research on the manuscripts. Lot of things are there. We have got people doing research, working on very old manuscripts, and all the manuscripts which they do, they are freely available. The project outputs are available on our website. You can also look at how interesting. And those manuscripts are which were never seen till date. Nobody knew about those things. So our team is working on them very slowly, very interesting people, and they are taking it like 1 page a day, 1 line a day, 2 lines a day. So that is, I think it will be a wonderful program. Do join us. But,
Thank
yeah,
you, sir. Thank you, sir.
let's take the questions first on the alphabets.
Sir, I have a little doubt. Like in gear, you have told us that it is j plus na.
Yeah.
So usually in Devanagari it is j plus nya.
Yes,
But
you're right.
you are saying in Sharda it is j plus na.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
I do not know what is the reason, but this is how it is running. You're right. Actually, when I talk to Sanskrit scholars or Sanskrit grammar experts, they also say it is this actually. But in Sharda, they chose this to write gear. For what reason, I do not know about that.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Ajay ji has some question. Yeah.
Namaskar, Mara.
Namaskar.
Is Mara last अक्षर छ ना ग
Yeah. Yes.
आत्मा इस Mara तो ज प्लस ने करो ना ऐड मारा अच्छा
Right.
इसमें और एक करू है क्या न पूरा नहीं आ रहा सर
हाँ एक कर नहीं है पूरा ही है.
हाँ.
This is complete. It is only this much. It means what you are saying, it should have been ऐसा आना चाहिए था. Correct?
हाँ लास्ट टाइम हमने ऐसे पढ़ा था.
हाँ पढ़ा था मगर
हाँ.
जब हम आगे पढ़ेंगे इसलिए मैंने बोला कि मतलब जो अब इस टाइम जो कर रहे हैं अभी आप सिर्फ इतना ही याद रख लीजिए ये ऐसे क्यों लिख रहे हैं इसका रीजन हम आगे समझाएंगे. इट इज एक्चुअली लाइक दिस. मैं दोबारा दिखाऊंगा. फिर एक कर्व फिर दूसरा कर्व बस इतना ही है.
थैंक यू मारा.
यस यस.
नमस्ते सर.
यस बेटा.
In the chat box.
सॉरी
Sir,
योर वॉइस इज ब्रेकिंग. योर वॉइस इज ब्रेकिंग बेटा.
am I audible?
No.
No.
She has written in chat box also, sir.
Yeah, she has written, Rakiji, that is there should be Shirorika on tra or not.
Yeah, that is, yeah, it can be. We can add a
Yeah.
Shiroreka. We can add a Shiroreka, then we can do the. That is perfectly correct. No problem.
So we can have, or like it can be both ways, right?
It can be both.
Without
Sides.
both
This
ways.
is also correct. This is also correct. Both are correct. This is also correct.
Sorry, sir, I got disconnected. Can you repeat that?
Yes, what I said. Yes, Shiroreka can be there or it cannot be there. Both are okay. You can add, as I told, when we do the, you don't put a Shiroreka, that is also fine. You add Shiroreka, that is also fine. But very small
Yes,
Shiroreka.
sir. And if there if we use, we have to only use the Shiroreka one, or we can use the other one.
You can use other one also. Yes.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Hello sir, namaskar.
Yes, ma'am.
No,
Sir,
ma'am, you can go ahead.
हेलो
हाँ जी बताइए.
सर, ये जो आपने लेटर लिखा ना श, जो श नहीं स सॉरी स.
Okay. Sir,
Sir,
let me
लिखता-
write it.
स लिखता वैकलेट बे. हाँ, यही मेरे को पूछना था.
हाँ जी बताइए.
ये जो आपने शुरू में ही थोड़ा सा छोटी सी शिरोरेखा टाइप लगाई है ना इसको,
हाँ.
ये जरूरी है.
ये जरूरी इसलिए है, कभी कभार मात्रा आ सकती है इधर, कभी कभार ई आएगा, कभी ई आएगा. अगर आप नहीं भी लगाओगे, ऐसे भी रखोगे, दिस इज ऑल्सो फाइन. ठीक है ना.
अच्छा, और
दोनों की.
आपने इसमें गैप भी दिया. इसका जो ये ट्रायंगल है इसमें गैप है, ये चलेगा?
हाँ, इसमें गैप है और ये बहुत ही शार्प ट्रायंगल है. यस, ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट है. यस.
ओके सर, ओके, ठीक है, थैंक यू.
बेचते उसको सवाल और
Sir,
एक मेरे पास one more
I have
question.
one more question.
Yes.
Sir, is in Sharda, is there any this rule that not all the consonants, not all the vyanjanas will be put to in terms of matra? Like,
We will, yes, we will
is
learn
there
that.
some
There are
is there
rules.
some rule that some will not be used and some can be used? Something
Okay.
like that.
Okay, so this Sharda is a lipi. It is not a bhasha. So generally, the bhasha lipi is what you speak. You should be able to write it. But whatever rules are there are a lot of rules in Sharda lipi which we will learn from our next class.
Right, sir.
There's
Rakesh
a
ji,
question.
Amara, yes, yes.
yeah, which is a little unrelated to this topic. जो अभी हम भाषा लिपि के बारे में जान रहे हैं ना, शारदा के बारे में,
हाँ जी,
जो आपने फर्स्ट क्लास में बताया था ना 40,000 मैन्यूस्क्रिप्ट्स अवेलेबल हैं। अभी जैसे हम शारदा को पढ़ रहे हैं, हम हिंदी के अकॉर्डिंगली इस भाषा को जान रहे हैं।
राइट।
जैसे हम अगर संस्कृत का कोई श्लोक पढ़ते हैं, एकम सद्विप्रा बहुधा वतन्ति, वो भाषा संस्कृत है मगर लिपि देवनागरी है।
हाँ जी।
तो जो शारदा में जो लिखा हुआ है उन मैन्यूस्क्रिप्ट्स में, वो कश्मीरी जो हम घर पे बात करते हैं वो भाषा है, या वो संस्कृत है, या वो ये हिंदी है? मुझे
अच्छा, करेक्ट। नहीं, अच्छा सवाल है, दैट इज अ गुड क्वेश्चन। एक्चुअली जितने भी मैन्यूस्क्रिप्ट्स हमने देखे, जितने भी मैन्यूस्क्रिप्ट्स अवेलेबल है, 99.5% of the manuscripts are Sanskrit. It's a very important point to know, because many people do not know Sanskrit was very, very advanced in Kashmir than any part of the India.
Okay.
So unfortunately, that we have forgotten, but that does not mean that Kashmiri manuscripts are not there. Lalwak is there. There are many other manuscripts are there. Rupavani Waks are there, but very, very exceptions are there. Very small quantity of manuscripts are there which are in Kashmiri. Hindi, because Hindi was introduced much as a bhasha I'm talking about. I have not seen any manuscript with the Hindi bhasha or this thing, but yes, predominantly 99% of those manuscripts are Sanskrit.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, one last question, if you don't mind.
Yes.
Sir, Sanskrit is language as well as lipi.
Sanskrit is not lipi. Sanskrit is bhasha. Lipi it was earlier Brahmi, then from Brahmi, Sharda was there, then we have Granthi is there, we have now there are all the different bhashas, are Devanagari is there, Bengali, these are all lipis. Sanskrit is not lipi. Sanskrit is written in Sharda Lipi or in Devanagari Lipi.
So we can say that the Devanagari Lipi has been extracted or derived from the Brahmi script.
Yes, mother script is Brahmi script. Majority of the Indian scripts, which includes Bengali, like Sharda itself, the Devanagari, they are all derived from Brahmi script. Brahmi was originally, it is Brahmi, but then now we have, then it can be, then historians can talk about whether Devanagari came first. I think Devanagari came much later than Sharda. Devanagari came somewhere around, I'm not sure, 800 or 900 AD or something, less century. But Sharda was much before that. Now, then Bengali also is there. We have many other, we have Siddham is there. We have the Gurumukhi. Gurumukhi is again derived from Sharda Lipi. So these branches do evolve. I think there is I will try to see if I can get a tree of those scripts, especially the Indic scripts. It will be very interesting.
Thank you, sir.
My Shanti Mantra according, sir.
Yes, before you do Shanti Mantra, just I want to share today with the last page, because I have been connecting with you about the tattvas. I want to just share it with the students. 1 minute, give me just, I had opened that presentation. Just quickly, we will just 2 minutes, I will just connect it. Just, I will not come to this slide. Okay, I'll start from here. I can share it with the students, that is not a problem. So this is basically about the 36 tattvas, from which I have basically taken from the book Kashmir Shaivism Described Supreme. So anybody who is interested, this is the book which is like a big, for beginners, it is everything. So this I have taken it, and whatever I learned it is from Swamiji, and this book is a treasure for everything. So as I told, these are the 5 energies of basically Lord Shiva, acts of Lord Shiva, which are Srishti, Sthiti, Samhar, Vidhan, and Anugraha, right? Creation, preservation, destruction, illusion, and grace. Now, these are the tattvas which I was talking to you about. E. So if you see Chit Shakti, Anand Shakti, Ichha Shakti, Jnana Shakti, and Anashrita Shiva. I told you about these which were basically also called the Amrit Bijas. And whatever next, these are all mapped together. That means if this is first, second, third, fourth, fifth, everything will basically be related to the same, like one under below, it is exactly like that. So then I also talked about A, I, O, Au. These are nothing but the 4 actions of Lord Shiva, which is, sorry, the action of Kriya Shakti of Lord Shiva. And then Anusara and Visarga, where I told you about the Anusara was Ang, which is Shiva not moved out from his own self. He is within his own self. Then the Aha, where I told it's a Shiva Bindu and Shakti Bindu, which is the reflection of the universe. Then this was the, we started with Kakha Gagana, right? Because I told you the first will be the grossest, but actually it is coming here. If you see now, this is the second tattva. First was Shiva. This is the Shiva tattva. All these are Shiva tattvas. Now Shakti tattva 2, which is nothing but Ksha. The Ksha is a complete feminine character. Complete feminine character means it does not have the Shiva in this. And it is represented by Ksha. This is nothing but called a Kuta Bija. Shakti is also her. In this, there is an element of Shiva, masculine character, but in Ksha, it is this. It is not. So her is Shakti. Third element, Sadashiva. Fourth, Ishwar. And fifth, Shuddha Vidya. Here also just some points. They are not created by Lord Shiva. If we don't say that Sadashiva, Ishwar, and Shuddha Vidya are creations of Lord Shiva, but they are his own nature. They are just his own nature. His is still
Rakesh ji, is Sha feminine? The
yes.
Ushma Vyanjana?
Oh yeah, absolute feminine is this Sha. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And this Maya, then I told you this Maya, and then Shat cover it, I told Shant Kanchukas, elements of ignorance. So Va is Maya. Then we spoke about the limited space, attachment, knowledge, time, and creativity. I talked about these. And then after Maya, now Maya, there's a covering. What will happen? So Shiva will become Purusha. Shakti will become Prakriti. It is exactly the Chitta, the Ichha will become Buddhi. So Ahankar and Manas. See that Kriya, these are what we spoke about. You see, but if you see the sequence of Tattva is 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Then 17 is Strotra. You see here Purusha, then Strotra, Tatha Dadana, Strota, Twag, Chakshu, Rasa, and Grana. Then 22, Upastha, Payu, Pada, Pani, and Vak, Tatha Dadana, genitals, anus, legs and feet, hands and tongue. Then 27 to 31, Gandh, Ras, Roop, Sparsha, Shabda. He is coming down. The journey is Shiva from that state to the Prithvi Tattva. And then if you see here, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36. So this is the last. Akash, Vayu, Agni, Jal, and Prithvi. So this is the last element. So the journey was from the and it ended with the K, which is nothing but the 36th element. Just I wanted to just give a recap what I was talking about. I did not want to show this presentation in the beginning because it is not the scope of this, my teaching here, but still just when we do this, link these alphabets with these tattvas, we only appreciate them more, and it gives us more devotion to learn it. So I think that's all. I think then I don't have to
Sir,
talk.
can you share that presentation
I
with
will.
us, sir?
I have the PDF. I will share it in the group.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, sure. Thank you. And who is doing the Shanti part today?
Thank you, sir. Jyotsna, sir. Jyotsna
Sure.
from Sri Lanka.
Anji, please go ahead.
Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shantis Shantis Shanti. Namaskar, everybody.
Thank you. God bless all.